Hey guys, Rainbow here. I'm just doing a video response. Well, it should have been put on here first before Mystic did a video response, so it's backwards. But below is the link to her video that she did. So after you watch my video, go to her page to watch it, and that way you know what we're talking about. And she said empire when it's supposed to be vampire, which you will understand after I talk about it. Okay, my first coven experience. Well, my only coven experience. I joined a coven because the boyfriend at the time that I had, I was questioning Christianity, and I didn't like how it was. So he said, "Well, my sister runs a coven. Have you ever heard of Wicca or paganism?" He said. I said, "No, I never heard of it." And so he took me to his sister's. She explained what it's all about. She asked me if I wanted to learn more, if I wanted to join the coven. So I said, okay. And what we started out doing was starting our BOSs, which is Book of Spells. But basically, we were writing everything from the book into paper into our BOSs. Now, that's common for covens. Well, Mystic knows more about them than I do. But then, the teacher, she said that she was the reincarnation of Isis. And we had to call her Queen when we were at her house. It didn't matter if we were in the conversation at the time or in the coven while we were learning. This is even if we met her on the street or anything like that. And her husband called himself the King of Vampires. So that's where Debbie gets messed up. Mystic. So, Mystic talks about that, and then, for my test to see what I was, she put me down in a basement to test if I could see spirits or if I could feel them or what energy I was, basically. So when she put me down there, I was scared. I did see stuff. But yeah. And she would not let us read anything outside of the coven or do any of our own research. We had to read the books that she was giving us. We could not read any other book. The very first book we were reading was Raymond Buckland's, basically known as the big blue book. He's a really old school pagan. They would actually read that book to us, and we weren't allowed to have our own copy. And then I got reading Civil Ravenworth. I started collecting her books, and I was reading them, and I'm like, this is the exact stuff that she is teaching us. So anyhow, she had a study of the gods and goddesses, which I got really good at knowing the Greek and the Egyptians. And then, when it came to choosing our own personal god or goddess, I said I want Isis and Ra at first, and she said you cannot have them because they are mine, and you cannot pick them. So that was a little weird. So basically, later on, I fell in love with Basset and Anubis. I have a tattoo of them on there. I also like Isis. So anyhow, that was some points there which were kind of questionable to me. Then also, since the husband said to me, he was king of the vampires, he would keep me safe at home. when we would walk and stuff, he would always say, "Oh, there's one over there," you know, and it's like he's allergic to garlic. I don't know. It was a lot of weird shit. But basically, the other thing, which is Coven related, which I mentioned all that, they didn't teach us the basics. They didn't teach us how to shield ourselves. They basically had us write stuff up out of a book. That's all they were teaching us. And then she did get to a part which this is how you should have an altar set up. And we had to remember the exact placement. Now, in some covens, that can be part of it. Other covens, I mean, that's kind of like the gray area. Mystic will explain that better. And then she had us make wands out of wood, like, you know, from scratch. Now, she did, but we couldn't put on the symbols we wanted. She told us what symbols to put on, like what angel we wore, which angel protected us, different symbols that she wanted on it. So we brought them into the wand. Then she had us make homemade Ouija boards, and she used the Ouija boards a lot, which is, you know, kind of weird. And she said, you know, Ouija boards are a really bad thing. I know I did a video on that before, way back, but technically I really don't know what I was doing, and I recommend you don't use one. But then, like I said, she had a BOS, and she said no one else can touch it because if you open it without her permission, you will get attacked. You know, weird. Also, like like she had boundaries in her house set up to protect. Now that's true. You can do that. You can protect your house and set up certain protection where nothing negative can equal. Now, they said certain rules, like rules for graveyards, that you can't step on a grave, you can't desecrate a cemetery, basically, which I agree with. There's more rules than that. But she did teach us some of that. But like I said, she teach the only thing she taught were those 3 things, and she didn't teach us how to use them. The only thing she taught how to use was the Ouija board, but she never told us to say goodbye to it. And like, we were not allowed to do any research on our own. We were not allowed to read any other books. So basically that's it in a nutshell. So like I said, go down to Mystic Blue's video. It'll be linked below, and she can tell you all about it when I talk about my video response dealing with the Coven. Now I am sorry if I misspelled cult. If I misspelled it, let me know. Alright, see you later. Hold on.